What if I told you there's a choice that could make you a millionaire, but only if you're willing to defy what seems like perfect logic? Today, we're diving into Newcomb's paradox, a thought experiment that looks simple on the surface, but has been stumping the world's brightest minds for over 50 years. It's a choice with some seriously mind-bending consequences. So picture this. Some kind of super intelligent being presents you with a choice. Walk away with a guaranteed $1,000 or maybe $1 million. Seems like a no-brainer, right? Well, not so fast. There's a huge catch. Before you can make your choice, you've got to understand the rules of this very strange game. And trust me, they're weird. This isn't just about picking the bigger number. It's about trying to outthink a being that might already know exactly what you're going to do. Okay, so here's the setup. In front of you are two boxes. Box A is totally clear. You can see a crisp $1,000 bill inside. It's always there. Then there's box B. That one's a mystery box. You can't see inside. And here's the thing. The predictor has already decided what to put in it, either $1 million or nothing at all, based on its prediction of what you're about to do. So this is how it works. If the predictor thought you'd take both boxes, it left box B totally empty. But if it predicted you would be a one-boxer and take only box B, it put a cool $1 million inside. And here's the absolute kicker. This predictor is practically flawless. It's almost never wrong. So when you see impossible on this chart, yeah, you can pretty much bet those scenarios just don't happen. And believe me, this isn't some new puzzle. People have been tearing their hair out over this for decades. The philosopher Robert Nozick nailed it way back in 1969. He said, "To almost everyone, it is perfectly clear and obvious what should be done. The difficulty is that these people seem to divide almost evenly on the problem." And that just perfectly sums up the whole mess, doesn't it? All right, let's break down the two camps. First up, you've got the people who say you should only take one box. The one-boxers. Their strategy is pretty simple, and it makes a lot of sense. It all boils down to one simple idea. Trust the predictor's track record. The fancy term for their logic is the expected utility principle, but all that really means is you play the odds. You look at what has worked in the past, what gets the best results on average, and you go with that. You go for the choice with the best history of a massive payout. And the evidence is just so compelling. You just look at the history. Time and time again, the people who choose only box B walk away millionaires. The people who choose both, they almost always find box B empty and leave with just the $1,000 from box A. If you want to be rich, the data screams, take one box. It seems like a slam dunk. But hold on, not so fast. The case is far from closed because there is an equally powerful argument for taking both boxes. This side says, forget the past, forget the track record. All that matters is cold, hard logic, right here in the moment. Their argument is built on something called the strategic dominance principle. It sounds complicated, but the idea is actually really straightforward. It just says that if one choice always leaves you better off than another, no matter what else has already happened, then that's the choice you should make, period. And here is their absolute killer point. The prediction has already been made. It's done. The $1 million is either sitting in box B right now, or it isn't. Your choice in this moment cannot magically reach back in time and change a past event. So, whatever is in box B, you will always be $1,000 richer if you take both boxes. Why on earth would you leave free money on the table? So, do you see the problem? We have overwhelming evidence pointing in one direction, and what seems like unbreakable logic pointing in the complete opposite direction. That is the paradox. So what's really happening here? Let's peel back one more layer. I mean, how is that even possible? How can two perfectly sound lines of reasoning lead to two totally different answers? This is the point where the problem stops being about money and starts getting into some really deep territory. We're talking about causality, free will, and even the flow of time itself. And here it is, the hidden secret at the heart of the whole puzzle. The real fight isn't about which principle is better. Nope, it's about cause and effect. The entire problem hinges on one absolutely mind-bending question. Can your decision in the present cause something to have happened in the past? Okay, take a look at these two diagrams. They really simplify the two worldviews. On the left, you've got the one-boxer's perspective. They believe that somehow your choice causes the money to be there. That arrow flows backward. On the right is the two-boxer's view. They say, no way, They believe there's a common cause, maybe your personality type, that influences both the prediction and your choice. But your choice itself can't reach back in time and alter the box. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, this is confusing, but surely the professionals, the philosophers, they've got this figured out, right? Well, you would be wrong. This problem is so thorny, it stumps the very people who study logic and decision-making for a living. Get a load of this. A 2020 survey of professional philosophers shows they are completely divided. A little under 40% say, take both boxes, but over 31% say, take just one. And almost 30% are basically undecided. So yeah, there is absolutely no settled answer here. Which brings everything right back to where we started, with you. We've explored the rules, we've heard both sides of the argument, and we've seen just how deep this philosophical rabbit hole goes. So now, the decision is all yours. The predictor, with its near-perfect record, has already made its move. The boxes are sitting there. Do you trust the evidence and take just one box, betting on the million? Or do you trust the logic that says taking both is always better, even if it probably means walking away with just 1,000? The choice is yours. What do you do?